on to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Challenger Scorpion. The Grey Knights are back. They've been challenged by the Tyranids. The Tyranid army has evolved and adapted. The Grey Knights are in the area, and part of this hive fleet has been sent to devour them. So we're going to see a new look Tyranid force here. There's a few new units in. They've been hammered by the Grey Knights before, humiliated really, with Ben's highly elite force dealing death to them, but the Tyranids are back, some new units, and they think they have a chance here of taking on the Grey Knights and winning. But it'll be on this table they're going to fight. This nice rocky terrain, the bushes and scrub, and the old ruins just over here. Nice looking board, very tranquil and quiet. But a whole lot of trouble is going to kick off when these two forces collide. Tyranids taking on the Grey Knights. Right, so welcome to this 1850 points game. It's Tyranids against Grey Knights. Just going to run through my list here. It's been upgraded and changed, adapted. So we think we stand more of a chance, although we still think the Grey Knights are going to be favourites in this game. But one Hive Crone, fast attack choice. One Tervagon taken as a troops choice, and he has Psychic Scream power. Then 30 Gaunts as troops choice. Then two Venom Throats. They've been split off into two separate units. Yeah, two elite choices there. Unit 6 Raveners with Rending Claws. Then the Army Commander. It's a Winged Hive Tyrant, and he has Catalyst power and also Onslaught. And then he's also got Electroshock Grubs, shooting ability for him. One Trigon, no upgrades. One Morlock, no upgrades for him. One Exocrine now has made it into the force just to provide a bit of fire support. And then a second Winged Hive Tyrant with twin-linked Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. And then for his power, he has, or the two powers, he has the Horror and then also Paroxysm. So nice spread of psychic powers for the Tyranids here. And then finally, four Tyranid Warriors with Rending Claws and Scything Talons. That's the force. We'll do the best that we can, but the odds are stacked against us. But you never know what can happen in 40k. The Tyranids may get their wish of devouring this Grey Knight force. We'll have to see.
This is my 1850 point Grey Knight army. First got a Librarian at level 3, and I've taken from the table of divination. So it's Prescience, Foreboding, Forewarning and Perfect Timing. We've got a Caldor Drago, a Vindicare Assassin, a 5-man Paladin squad with Psy Cannon, a 10-man Terminator squad, Stormraven Gunship, Dreadnought with Gatling Silencer and Heavy Incinerator, and another Dreadnought with Gatling Silencer but with a Nemesis Greatsword.
Right, so that's Ben's force. It has been beaten by the Eldar, but that in no way means that this is an easy force to destroy, and its track record against the Tyranids is excellent. So yeah, we're just saying Tyranids have been beaten in every game so far by the Grey Knights. So it'll be the first time if they can win here. Let's see what happens. We're going to go on to scenario and deployment now for these two forces in this game. Right, so the scenario is the Emperor's Will. That means there's one objective each, and deployment is Dawn of War. So 12 inches in here for the Grey Knights. They would be deploying here. Line of dice just marking out their deployment zone. And then for the Tyranids, 12 inches in along here for their deployment. Objectives, there's two. There's one canister just there for the Grey Knights. It says you can deploy anywhere in the table half, so Ben's put his there. And then for the Tyranids, just over here, it's just tucked in between the pillars just there. So each objective is worth 3 points each. The game will really, we've done these scenarios before. The game will really hinge on the objectives, and also points for Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker and First Blood will be crucial in this game as well. So we're going to go on to the deployment now for both of the forces in this game. So deployment for these two forces, it's quite empty around here, but Tyranids have clustered in this corner instinctively sticking together. And learning lessons from previous games, we've deployed a fair chunk of the force here, mutually supporting each other. Exocrine just there. And then in front of it, the warriors. Then just tucked in next to it, one of the venom probes. At the back here, the raveners, a trigon. And then in the woods, 30 gaunts. In amongst them, a venom probe, and then a Tervigon with them as well. So a sizable chunk of the Tyranid force is deployed in this corner. Our objective is just in there. So some advancing to be done, but survival will be the main priority in this game to start off with. Then in reserve, the Hive Crown will be flying on, the two winged Hive Tyrants will be flying on, and the Morlock will be deep striking. Then deployment for Ben. All that is on the table is one infiltrating sniper just here. It's the lead element of the force taking up position to fire across at the Tyranids, way across the other side of the table. It is risky, but Ben's going to deep strike on turn 1, so we can expect most of this Grey Knight force to turn up pretty quick. So in reserve is the Storm Raven that will fly on and then deep striking with the rest of the force. So that's deployment done. I'm going to go on to the first turn of the game. The Tyranids are going to go first, unless Ben wants to seize the initiative. No. Nope, he doesn't. Okay, so we're going to go on to turn 1 for the Tyranids. Right, so movement for the Tyranids on turn 1. Moving out here, shifting to the right, just bracing ourselves for the inevitable attack coming from the Grey Knights. So we've bred 13, no doubles rolled, so she's doing well. And then just holding position in the woods there. The Tervigon just behind. Shifting up 6 inches here with the Trigon. Exocrine moving up, warriors out as a screen in front, venom probe with them, and behind them the Raveners. That is it. There's no shooting phase. We're going to do a few run moves here, and that will mark the end of turn 1 for the Tyranids. Right, that's it for the Tyranids then. Just shifting out here to the right again, just a few inches being pushed up. Warriors, venom probe, Exocrine, Raveners, Trigon, and the unit of Gaunts just behind. So shifting around this direction, just waiting for these Grey Knights to arrive. It's been interesting how this game is going to unfold, but Tyranids are done. Going to go on to Grey Knight turn 1. Right, so Grey Knights turn 1. A bit of a strange twist here. Not much has turned up. In fact, only Drago and the Librarian Paladin unit has turned up, and Ben has deep strike them out of trouble, or out of the way here. He doesn't want to bring down just one unit in front of all of these Tyranids here. So, in a move that we weren't expecting, he's turned up at the back here, just staying out of trouble. And that is pretty much it. So we'll go on to the psychic phase. These armies are miles apart from each other at this stage in the game. We know that's going to change. So we'll see what happens. I think Ben is preparing to use some psychic powers now, coming up on turn 1 for the Grey Knights.
Foreboding and Force. And it's all on the turn there.
Okay, so Foreboding, Force, and...
Prescience.
Foreboding, Force, and Prescience all on this unit here. He did try to do... forewarning, perfect timing, but we blocked.
No, yes.
Yeah, we blocked that one. Okay, so psychic phase done. Not too significant really at this point, but later in the game, no doubt those psychic powers will come in helpful. So we will now go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 1. Alright, he's going to shoot the Trigon here. He's got a view through, ignores cover. Assassin's a pain. The Eldar dealt with him well, but the Tyranids, well, it'll be a challenge for them. So 2's for a hit.
Reroll.
Reroll. What's the ballistic skill?
8.
8. 4 or more. Oh, cock dice. No, he gets his hit. Ridiculous.
D3 wounds.
Roll to wind. 2. Strength.
10.
Oh, strength 10. Okay, D3 wounds then. It's very nasty indeed. Just the one wound though, got away with it this time, but that shot, it's pretty much unstoppable. Unless you've got an invan save, it's horrendous. It's like a big turkey shoot here. It's game shooting here. It's hunting season, and the assassin is out picking off the local wildlife with his gun. It's an enjoyable day. Nice. So the way these Grey Knights go about hunting Tyranids, they're making them an endangered species on this planet. Imperial advisors have been sent in trying to add some protection to what's left of the Tyranids on the planet, but the Grey Knights are having none of it. They're quite happy to hunt them to extinction and sell on the bones to make Imperial jewellery. So it's a cool, calm day with the breeze blowing across the land. He's just packed up his packed lunch there. He had an open fire, made himself breakfast, and has now climbed into a nice position to take pot shots at the Tyranids. But his hunting trip may come to an abrupt end, as he may be vector striked by angry, flying, monstrous creatures. We'll have to see. Right, so shooting phase done there. It will start off light-hearted, but it will gradually get more and more serious as the game intensifies, we hope. Or it may descend into chaos, which seems to be happening quite often on this channel at the moment, thanks to James's treachery against the Emperor. But that will be dealt with. That will be dealt with in other games. Right, so that's that turn finished. We are now going to go on to Tyranid turn 2. We'll see what reserves turn up and what the Tyranids will do in this sector of the table. So Tyranid turn 2 coming up. Right, so movement for the Tyranids on turn 2. It's been a mixed result here. It's moving out with this force, nothing in our path, so continuing to move on, pressing on to our objective, the canister just there. Hopefully our numbers will be a bit of a deterrent for the Grey Knights. It's worked so far. But round here, we tried to land here with the Morlock and it hasn't worked. We've scattered there, so we'll be an easy victim now for Drogo and the Paladin squad, which is a shame, and Ben may get first blood, but not unless we get it first. As predicted, the two flyers have come on and they are making they are preparing themselves for a psychic and shooting attack against that assassin caught out on the side of the mountain. So his pleasant day is coming to an end. Also raking strike as we came in, 1 wound on the paladins there, which is a good start, but it's going to be a nightmare unit to try and get rid of. So we're going to the psychic phase now for the Tyranids. There's some psychic presence on the table, so we'll roll up, see how well we do. Right, so that psychic phase done. No damage anywhere at all. We tried to cast Catalyst here and give Feel No Pain to this wing type Tyrant, failed, and then Paroxysm, tried to cast it on there and Ben blocked it with getting 2 6s. So that psychic phase done. It's been uneventful. We will now go on to the shooting phase for the Tyranids on turn 2. You have to destroy that assassin. It'll be a good start. It'll be first blood and a crucial unit destroyed if we can do it. Right, so the wing type Tyrant here with the 20 Devours and Brain Leech Worms, the new unit. He needs freeze to hit. That's very, very good. Oh, yes, boys. Very, very good. And then we're on strength 6, toughness 4. Oh, he's a incredible... Oh, almost perfection from him. Ben has 11 saves of 4+ to make. We reckon that Ben could die here, and what a turn up for the Tyranids this would be. He's gone. The assassin is dead. The new unit, the newly adapted Tyranid Winged Hive Tyrant, has accomplished his mission, bringing down the assassin. Excellent work from him. So that's pretty much it. We've got some run moves to do now for the Tyranids just to adjust themselves. But that's a good turn up, and that puts them ahead in this game. How many points is the assassin?
150.
150 points. Well done to the Tyranids, but this celebration may not last too long. We'll have to see. Right, so that's the run moves done. 5 inches moved away with the Morlock as it tries to escape from the Paladins, and then just a bit of manoeuvring done here. The Gaunts moving up a few inches and then just pushing into the ruins here, virtually onto the objective, and this is hopefully where we'll stay. Then be up to the Grey Knights to try and dislodge this cluster of Tyranids. That's the movement and the turn. That's the whole turn done. So we'll now go on to Grey Knights turn 2. We'll see what turns up on this turn for the Grey Knights. Moving for the Grey Knights on turn 2, and again, not much turning up from reserve. Been really frustrated with his reserve rolls. The Grey Knights turning up in just dribs and drabs here. Perhaps just a very relaxed approach to taking on the Tyranids. But they're moving here. They are going after the Morlock, so its fate looks sealed unless Ben rolls a double 1 on the charge, but that's unlikely. And then coming around, just one Dread Knight has turned up here before the rest of the force arrives. So no flyer, the other Dread Knight's off, and the 10 Man, unit of Terminators is off the table as well. So interesting, but this one's well armed with shooting capabilities, and Ben is spoilt for choice here as far as targets are concerned. So we're going to go on to Psychic Phase first of all for the Grey Knights on turn 2. Alright, so Prescience was blocked here, so we've stopped that, but he's just activated Force. We've used all our dice ups, whatever Ben rolls up he will get with no resistance. Yeah, he's going to try and put Force on here, yeah, he's done that as well. That means it's shooting attacks will be Force, if that's right. Yeah, that's a nasty power to use. Very good. Is that Psychic Phase done?
Yep.
Okay, Psychic Phase finished. We will now go on to shooting. We have to brace ourselves here for this firepower that's going to come through from this Dreadnought. But the key will be for this Tyranid force to react quickly and try and destroy it before the rest of the army turns up. If he comes in piecemeal like this, in little bits at a time, Tyranids do stand some kind of chance. Go on to shooting now. Let's see what he can do. Right, so shooting phase done. Firing here through with the flamer weapon and also the Gatling silencer as well. Almost false result there, almost killed. We had one save to make, but we passed the save. If we had failed, it would have been instant death on the exocrine. So it's lived, it's taken a wound though, and one of the Ravenous has been killed as well, and both are set on fire. We've resolved the results, so the fires continue to burn, but no damage has been done to either of those two units. That's the shooting done. And then the Morlock here, 2 wounds taken, that's fire from this unit here. That's it, all done. So we'll go on to assaults. Ben will roll up. 7, he's in. So that Morlock should be destroyed quite easily. Yes, that's melee's done. It was resolved very quickly. A triple wound coming in from the halberd there. It's force, so the Morlock has killed very, very quickly and efficiently done there. That's evened up the game. So that's the end of the turn for the Grey Knights. Going to go on to Tyranid turn 3 coming up. Right, so the game's really evened itself out here. The Tyranid's taking out the Assassin, but then Ben has levelled it up by taking out the Morlock. Shame to lose that. That's a good attack to have for the Tyranids that's been taken away. But we'll hand over to the Tyranids now. They stand a chance. If we can react well to this Dreadnought and deal with it, then we can try and swing the game back in our favour again. But it's quite really on turn 3 and not too much going on. It's a bit different to other games. We'll see how the Tyranids do. We're certainly not out of the game. Most of our force still survives. So we'll see what the Tyranids can do now. Turn 3. Movement. Coming up. Right, so turn 3 for the Tyranids. It's all quiet over this side of the battlefield. The Hive Mind has shifted its attention over to this sector. So the Hive Crone coming on has raking striked and caused a wound on the Dreadnought here. So it's a good start. Winged Hive Tyrant pivoting, coming across about 18 inches. And the other one's pivoted, the Army Commander, and has gone off table just to try and stay alive. If he's off, he can't be shot at. And then here, breeding another 13, but on double, so that's ended the breeding for the Tervigon. But it's done very well. There's a lot of Tyranids in this sector. It's absolutely crawling with Tyranids, and it's just forming screens here with the gaunts to try and protect the larger creatures and the more valuable units. Ravenous shifting up in this gap here, Tervagon moving ahead, trying to use its psychic power. Venom Throat just sticking around, offering some shrouding. Trigon at the back in support. Another Venom Throat here. Exocrine's just pivoted, ready to offload his shots. Ballistic skill 4 if he stays still. And then the Warriors sneaking through here and onto the objective. So we're optimistic here with the Tyranids. For the first time, really. Playing against Grey Knights, but we'll have to see how well they do. Shooting will be key, and the mission is simple. It is to bring down that Dread Knight. He's got 3 wounds to get through. We'll see if we can do it. Right, so that Psychic Phase Zone is very straightforward. Tried to do Psychic Scream, and then Ben denied, which is a shame. So we'll go straight on to shooting now. It's going to have to be the shooting for the Tyranids that's going to bring this thing down. Right, so fire the Exocrine here. We'll fire streams, so that's 6 shots. Assault 6, range 24. So need 3s to hit. Good, can't complain, it's average. Toughness?
6.
Toughness 6, strength 7. Good, 3 saves, they're at AP 2. So Ben needs to make 3 invuns. If he fails all 3 of these, he's dead. And the Exocrine is well worth the points.
No, don't.
He has failed. The Exocrine has just brought down a Dread Knight in 1 round of shooting. That thing has just justified its place in the force here. Oh, there's shockwaves going through the Dread Knights. It's the reserve rolls. It has to be that. Units haven't been turning up, and the Tyranids have been able to deal with it. But Exocrine, even though it's on fire, it has steadied itself and let off a stream of acidic whatever, and it has melted the Dread Knight. The Dread Knight's usually so hard to kill. Remember the previous games, struggling, and yet the Exocrine has pivoted and blown one away in 1 deadly round of shooting. Right, so just looking here, there's no point in running anywhere really. We're quite happy in this little defensive cluster that we have. These have all moved. So we will now go on to Grey Knight turn 3. We've got a couple little fires to try and put out. Ben's going to roll for the Exocrine, fire goes out, and then for the Raveners, the fire continues to burn. Let's just run up results here. Right, so the fire goes out on the Exocrine and 1 wound dealt out on the Raveners as they continue to burn. So that's the end of the turn. We're going to go on to turn 3 now for the Grey Knights. Right, so we are on to turn 3 now here for the Grey Knights. Ben is saying it could go well, or it could go really bad. Nervous are you? It could lose. He's not sure. Right, now he's got to place his Terminator somewhere. There's the landing spot. Oh no, he's got doubts. Wherever you land, the Exocrine will pivot and blow you away. He's a good little guard duty model to have. He's demonstrated the kind of firepower he can come out with. Range 24 is not too bad. It just means it's a bit of protection for the defensive part of the force. It means that you could sit there and you can let out some kind of high-powered shooting attack. Ben's decided to land at the other end of the table. Right, okay, he wants to secure his objective with the Grey Knight Terminators. Fair enough. And there's 10 of them. So they will be a nightmare to dislodge. There's 2 nightmare units to deal with. Those over there. And then this unit of Paladins. 1 Dread Knight gone. He'll try and assault with the other. But both sides may well be comfortable on their objectives. So, as I mentioned before, critical points like Slay the Warlord, Line Breaker, First Blood will be crucial in this game. Also for the Tyranids, our HQ is a legendary fighter. For every character he slays in a challenge, he'll get an extra victory point. So there's potential to get points with that as well. Okay, so movement phase done. Just moving up in this direction here with the Paladins, Drago and his squad. They've got a bit of walking to do, but they may be able to transport themselves. No. Yeah, Ben's remembered he's got Gates of Infinity. He might be able to shift with them. I was going to say it's a long walk over to the Tyranids. It's like a safari park around here, but the creatures are quite hostile, to say the least. The Terminator's just landing here, and then the Storm Ravens turn. A lovely view that it's got from on top of the rocks just there. So we're going to go on to Psychic Phase first of all, before the Grey Knights on turn 3. Forewarning. Okay, right, so Force cast on the Grey Knight Terminator just over there, and on here as well. And then Forewarning cast, but we blocked it on a triple 6. So that power hasn't gone through. Just Ben trying to increase his invulnerable save. So we'll go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 3. Right, he's going to fire first here with the Gatling silencers. They are.
Yeah, I'm doing the silencers now.
Okay, yeah. So they're coming through.
6s. No,
1. Strength. Failed on a 1. Okay, so no wounds dealt out. And then Stormbolters try to pick us off here. Thankfully we're flying, as it would have been a different result. Right, it's done the shooting there. The Terminator's firing up, no damage on the Winged Hive Tyrant. Stormraven's going to fire here, and we reckon we will... Who are you going to shoot at?
Where's your Warlock?
He's off the table. He knew you were coming. So you
Hive Tyrant, I suppose.
This one. Alright, well, Jink, we're going to have to try and survive this. So...
Everything on that.
Everything. 2 missiles then. Freeze to hit. 2 hits.
Okay, 82.
2's to wound. Oh dear, 2 hits coming in. We've got to jink these. It's jinked 1. 1 wound taken. So there's going to be a grounding test that will need to be taken at least. And 1 wound dealt out. It needs to get 3 more wounds to kill it.
Last cannon.
Last cannon.
Hit.
Gets his hit just about. Wound, yeah. Jink it. Yes! And then Typhoon missiles. 2 shots.
2 hits.
Yeah.
Strength 8.
Strength 8. Toughness 6. 2s.
Yeah.
2, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, jink him. Oh, hot dog. He'd be dead if he didn't jink. He'd be dead if he didn't jink. He has survived. Now grounding test just to finish it off. Come on, don't get a 1 or a... he lives. He's flying and he's evaded a lot of shots. A big hole shot through one of his wings. Other than that, he's all right. Right, so that's all the shooting done. We saw the shots coming down from the Stormraven. Could have been a lot worse, but that Winged Hive Tyrant has survived. And then here, just running 3 inches, and that is it. No assaults. There's not much. There's a distance between these two forces. A very different game to usual, that's for sure. Some games, units are all over each other, but here, it's spread out across the table, and this Tyranid defensive instinct has paid off. They're holding their objective and maintaining their numbers. 1 Soul Blaze to roll up here, and then we'll just go on to the 4th turn for the Tyranids. Right, so movement for the Tyranids on turn 4. Just holding really here, quite comfortable. It's the first time I'm able to say that really for Tyranids against Grey Knights, but doing quite well. Coming on here with the Commander, just trying to keep him out of the way of the Stormraven over there. And within 12 inches, try and grant a bit of feel no pain on one of these units. Exochrome moving up, he might be able to launch. Get into some kind of position to bombard the Grey Knights from range. The Winged Hive Tyrant moving over, vector striking, killed one of the Grey Knight Terminators, and then a brave move here from the Hive Crone, sweeping up to take on the Stormraven with Tentaclids. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase now for the Tyranids on turn 4. Okay, Psychic Phase then for the Tyranids. We managed to cast Paroxysm. Ben has lost his -2 ballistic skill and weapon skill over there. He couldn't stop it. Right, and then over here, the commander here, the Winged Hive Tyrant cast Catalyst, granting feel no pain to the Exocrine, but he perilled and rolled a 2, so he's taken a wound and he's lost Onslaught power with a mental purge. That's the end of the Psychic Phase. Going to go on to shooting now for the Tyranids on turn 4. Right, so shooting phase for the Tyranids, not much going on here, just a few run moves with the Exocrine unit there, just trying to close the range. In quite a good position here to bombard the Grey Knights over here. And then twin-linked Brain Leech Worms firing up here, 3 hits, but no damage done. Ben jinking though with shots coming in, the 2 Tentaclids being fired. Didn't block them. 1 haywire hit causing a glancing hit, and the other one a penetrating hit and a result of a 2. So 2 hull points down on the flyer. So well done to the Hive Crone. He's chipped him well as he makes a move straight at the flyer there. That marks the end of the turn for the Tyranids. It's going pretty well, which has come as a surprise. But we will go on to Grey Knight turn 4. We'll see what they can do. Dread Knight will automatically arrive, and we'll see how Ben reacts. He's got to try and challenge this objective, which is right there, and he has to secure this objective, which is actually being sat on by the Hive Crone at the moment. So we'll go on to turn 4 for the Grey Knights. Yeah, it's fascinating on this one. There's a lot of distance between the armies, which suits the Tyranids well, trying to keep the Grey Knights at arm's length, and they've managed to do it. But it's pretty much been down to Ben's reserve rolls not being quite what he wanted. He's thinking of where to go with this Dread Knight. I'm keeping an eye on him here, because those things are a nightmare. But by sticking together, it's one of the tactics we've learnt from previous games, that sticking together increases your chances of survival. It's a natural instinct that is paying off for the Tyranids. He hates the Exocrine. I can see he's going after it. He's thinking of where to go. He wants to land there.
I'm out of range to you.
He's out of range of me at the moment. No, he doesn't want to... Yeah, okay. So he'll roll up for that one. Right, he came frightfully close to coming off the end of the table there, but he's on with the Dread Knight. Now, what's he going to do with the rest here? Big unit of Terminators to move, and then the Storm Raven, but it has jinked, remember, so his firepower limited there. So Tyranids dominating the table a little bit. Ben out of position currently. Just wondering if things would have been different if he had have deep striked around here. With Drago's unit, we just don't know. Saying that he does have Gates of Infinity, so he can shunt that Paladin unit pretty quick and relocate them to a different spot on the battlefield. That is done in the Psychic phase, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Psychic phase. We'll try and use all of our Psychic might to deny it. Right, so movement phase done. Deep striking here with the Dread Knight, moving up here with Drago and his Paladin squad. Flyer moving off, Ben keeping it on the table. He's going to try and let off some shots. He'll get Serpent Machine Spirit, so one of his weapons will fire at full ballistic skill. And then moving on to the objective here with the Grey Knight Terminators. So we're going to go into Psychic phase now, see what Ben can do on his Psychic phase on turn 4. So he's activated Force here. We're not going to try and stop it on the Dread Knight. Here it is. He's going to roll for Gates of Infinity.
Yes.
Oh, he's peril trying to do it. He's done it on 3. We will try and stop it. A 666 is required. Ah, so close. 2 6s. Right, so he's got Gates of Infinity here, but he's taking his time trying to decide where to go. Where would you go? Where would you deep strike? Because we clustering together, it means that Tyranids can react to it in force. So he can go anywhere. Front, back, side. It's difficult. He's going to go... He's got... It's agony.
Going to go there.
There's actually smoke coming out of his ears as he thinks about this. He's got soul blaze of the mind. He's definitely going there. Oh no, what's happened? He's scattered 11 inches. He's going to land on the gaunts. Right, so he has I was going to say peril. He has...
I put...
Yeah. So Ben... Right, so Ben has scattered 11 inches, actually landed right there in amongst the gaunts, and then on the result, we get to choose where he gets to deep strike. So we've banished him to the top of the mountain. He's up there. It's just a bizarre game. Just rolling here. It's difficult terrain. He's fouled 1. He needs to make a 2+ save. No, he's fine. Right, so Gates of Infinity has been kind of weird. He went through the gates, shot off in this direction, and then ended up screaming on top of the mountain over here. Right, so Psychic phase done. Force on here. Right, then forewarning on the unit on the mountain. They get a 4+ invuln save now. And Prescience on them, which may come in handy against the Flyers. So we're going to go on to shooting phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 4. Right, so shooting phase done. Some wounds coming in. This squad firing here at the Hive Crone. We didn't jink. It's AP4 with the Gatling Silencer there. So we have taken 2 wounds. We jinked 2 other saves to make. or normal saves of 4+, they were passed. We grounded, rolled a 1 on the wound, so we haven't taken an extra wound there, but have come crashing down. So we're now in glide mode. So that's damage on him, and then coming across here, no damage on the Exocrine. Ben firing down, but passing a cover save there, and the rest no effect. That Snapfire really helping us out after Ben had jinked. Firing up here from this squad of Terminators, no damage done on this Hive Tyrant. So that's all the shooting done. There's no combats, so we will go on to the 5th turn for the Tyranids. We'll just roll about this Soul Blaze down here. That fire's gone out finally. So turn 5 coming up for the Tyranids here. Again, not as comfortable as they were. There's a fair Grey Knight presence on the table, but it's gone well for the Tyranids so far. A few things to deal with. The Dread Knight here, and then also the Flyer, and these 2 strong units here for the Tyranids as well. But we're going to turn 5 movement for them, see what the Tyranids can do. Right, so movement for the Tyranids on turn 5. The screen of gaunts moving out towards the Dread Knight there. Not sure if we can bring it down this turn, but we'll see. The Tervigon moving up, there's a Venomthrope just there on guard duty. Then sitting on the objective, a unit of gaunts and the Raveners. The Flyers staying on, Ben pointing out that if we go off the table and the game ends on turn 5, the commander there will count as destroyed and Ben will get a point. So we're going to try and stay on the table and stay alive. And then Exocrine shifting to his left. We're going to try and shoot at the Dread Knight, trying to topple a second one. The Trigon moving up, sticking close. Warriors, Venomthrope moving up as well. So Tyranids still clustering together here. And the Flyers, we tried to Raking Strike, just moving over part of the model there, but failed to get a glancing or penetrating hit with the Hive Crone, and then turning to the left and shifting along 12 inches with the winged Hive Tyrant just there to lay down some fire from the sky. So that marks the end of the movement phase. Psychic phase coming up next for the Tyranids on turn 5. Right, so that's psychic phase finished. So we tried to cast Catalyst there for the winged Hive Tyrant onto here, but Ben blocked it. That's psychic phase done. Pretty uneventful. We've gone to shooting now for the Tyranids on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase, we'll fire the Exocrine here, firing streams, 6 shots. We need 4s this time. Not bad, that's average. And we need freeze to wound. Very good, 2. So Ben needs to make 2 invulnerable saves here of 5+. Double 1 over there, he's failed. It's half killed it. Exocrine doing damage once again. Alright, so shooting for the Tyranids on turn 5. Pretty good. The Exocrine firing through. 2 wounds dealt out on the Dread Knight there. So that's half dead. Exocrine, very good pivotal unit. Nice unit to stick in the heart of your Tyranid defense force. And then here, yes, the Flyer has been brought down. Ben electing not to jink, and the homing missile attaching itself and scrambling the electrics, bringing the Flyer down. So that Storm Raven's been brought down. Then firing there with the winged Hive Tyrant just over there, no damage done. Ben passing a whole load of 2+ saves with the Grey Knight Terminators. Yes, that marks the end of the turn for the Tyranids. It's been pretty good. They're holding the objective quite comfortably, but so's Ben. So objectives being held by each side, and Ben has line breaker. Right, okay.
You got that.
Yeah, okay. So this is going to be a tight game actually. Even if the Tyranids are doing well, it's still going to be very close unless we can shift him off of that objective or contest it somehow. And the same for Ben. If he can contest ours on turn 5, it's going to take some effort to do it. But we'll see what happens. Grey Knight turn 5 coming up. Right, so movement for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Just jumping up and over here with the Dread Knight. Ben's going to try and lay down some firepower. there. Then coming around, clustering onto the objective here with the Grey Knight Terminators, and then starting the long and precarious march across this ridge to try and march down the side of the mountain here. Got to walk carefully, don't slip to your left or to your right. So they're going in single file. Holding hands, would they be? I don't know. Maybe attaching ropes to each other as they... it's been a real expedition here. You've had hunting going on, shooting, and now mountain climbing as well, featuring in this game. Okay, so force being cast here. We're not going to try and stop it. He's just passed it on 3 dice. So that's not going to be enough. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Right, so Gates of Infinity here. Ben's going to try and cast that one. He's going to do it on... Oh, he's perilled, and he's done it on 4 dice. We're going to have to try and block it. We've got to stop Drago from moving. We need 4 6s. Oh my, well, 2 6s, not too bad. But he's on the move. Alright, so Ben perilled there. I rolled a 1, the dreaded 1, and almost dragged himself and his unit into the wall. But he passed the leadership test, taking a wound instead. What bizarre results we're seeing in this game. It's very odd. There's a real disturbance in the force. Alright, so Gates of Infinity has been cast. Ben has accomplished it. He's landed where he wanted to, just down here. Now, wondering why on earth he'd want to go in that corner. And here, this is his reasoning. 3 points each from Rejected. We've got First Blood. That's 4-3 to the Tyranids. The game could end, so he's jumped to grant himself a guaranteed line breaker to make the game a draw. So if the game ends at the end of turn 5, which on a 1 or a 2 it will, we'll have a draw on our hands. So the Tyranids setting themselves up to try and win. Ben could try and pull out a draw here and spoil the whole thing. But even a draw will be honourable, that's for sure, for the Tyranids.
For both sides.
For both sides. Well, especially for the Tyranids. But it would be cheeky if Ben can pull that out, especially being on the back foot here. But we'll see what he does. Psychic phase is finished. We're going to go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase done. Ben ran here just an inch closer towards our table edge there. 3 inches here, just sitting right on the objective. And then here, fired through onto the Tervagon, but no damage done with his Gatling silencer there. That marks the end of shooting. There's no assaults to be done. Oh, but there is assaults. Ben is allowed to charge the Tervagon.
Need a 5
or 6 inches. We'll let him roll up here. If he gets a terrible roll, he's not going to make it in 7. He is in. Well done. I'm going to fire a couple of little piddly shots here. Right, it's not been hit on Overwatch. We have a melee. And it looks like the Tervagon could be in trouble. Right, so as combat's resolved, the Tervagon is off, and so are 16 other gaunts from the backlash as the thing exploded in a big mess. The Dread Knight showered in slimy goo and blood as it hacked its way through that big monstrosity, bringing it down. And then the resulting explosion there, killing a load of gaunts from all 3 of the gaunt units there. Wondering about Synapse. Thankfully, the warriors are nearby to assist those units. But Tyranid's been hit here towards the end of the game. All right, then Ben just consolidating. 6 inches is rolled, so he's moved back into the woods here. And look at that. The cover say the Exocrine is not going to be able to see him. So he's hiding. The hunter has become the hunted. But that marks the end of turn 5. So this could be it. We're going to let Ben roll here. On a 1 or 2, the game will end. Oh, just about. We're going to go on to turn 6. A crucial turn. A strange game. Both armies keeping themselves quite distant from each other. It's very, very tight. 1 point could decide it. The Tyranids need to sort themselves out here. They've got to do something. We'll see what they can do. We're going on to turn 6 for the Tyranids right now. Right, so the movement for the Tyranids, Ben anchoring Linebreaker well down here, but also here we've got to try and deal with this Dread Knight. So we're just forming a cluster around the objective. The Gaunts just trying to block out Ben's opportunity for deep striking. We've got a bit of some run moves to do to adjust ourselves. And the Trigon moving down. Then the Exocrine has got a view through the gap here to try and take out the Dread Knight. It's the best hope that we have as far as shooting is concerned. Then going down into glide mode here with the commander, and then also glide mode over here, just trying to anchor line breaker for us as well. Going to go on to psychic phase now for the Tyranids on turn 6. Right, so psychic phase non-eventful here, so just going to go straight onto shooting now for the Tyranids on turn 6. So the big question: can the Exocrine destroy this thing? It's on 2 wounds. We moved. We get 6 shots firing streams. We need 4s. Oh no, this is pressure. We've only got 2 hits. Freeze to wound. Ugh, 1 save. Ben could make an invuln here. Not going to kill it. On a 2, no, it's taken a wound, but it still lives. That's the crucial part. Yeah. So shooting then. So we saw the Exocrine firing 1 wound delta, but not quite enough to bring that Dreadnought down. And then just fanning out here and sitting on the objective with the Termagants. 6 inches run move from the Trigon, bit of backup there for later on if we need it. A few inches shifted here as well. That is it. And then just sitting there with the 2 winged Hive Tyrants anchoring line breaker. So we do have a charge that's going to go ahead. We're going to have to go through cover to reach Ben. We'll ignore the penalty for it. He's going to get some Overwatch. We'll roll up our charge distance here. 6 inches will get us in. We'll let Ben do some Overwatch. Alright, so we've got a melee on our hands. He did bring one of us down with a force hit there from the Gatling silencer. He's got 4 attacks. He needs force to hit with weapon skill 5. Whoa, he's Mr. Free. Master crafted. He's got 2 hits. Blast. Strength 10. Right, okay, we're dead. I hope he gets a 1 here. Oh, that was almost a 1. It flipped to a 4.
2 gone.
2 gone.
You could rend me to that.
Yeah, we could rend him. Alright. 5 attacks. We get 3 attacks, 1 for weapons, 1 for charging. When he forced to hit, we've got to get a 6 here. So forced to hit, he's managed to get 4. A double 6 will mean massive pressure. Come on. Oh, useless. Yes. I think we carry on in the melee in Synapse is Fearless. Yeah, so started in Synapse range, so we'll carry on in the melee, locking him down, but we've failed to kill him, which is a shame. But that marks the end of turn 6 for the Tyranids. We're going to go into turn 6 now for the Grey Knights. This is so close, it's just a matter of a point or 2. 1 point is going to make all the difference. Ben's thinking about what he's going to do next. So Grey Knight turn 6 coming up. Alright, so movement done here, just shifting along 6 inches with the Paladins squad. Ben may shift them with Gates of Infinity. Melee continues here, and the Ben just adjusting this unit, but still remaining on the objectives. Going to go on to Psychic phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 6. Right, so Prescience cast here on them. We're not going to try and block it. That's rerolls to hit. It's Gates of Infinity we're going to try and stop.
False on the Dreadnought.
False on the Dreadnought, yep.
Cast on 3.
Yeah, he's got that. Okay. So force is on the Dreadnought here. He's so high strength anyway.
Gates
we'll let him to it. Now finally Gates of Infinity.
Yeah, I'll do it. Just about. It's Drago.
Right, okay. So he's passed it on.
You need 6. 1 6.
1 6 will stop Gates of Infinity.
Yeah.
1 6 we get. He's going nowhere.
It doesn't matter.
Right, so shooting, and there's an opportunity here to cause trouble.
Kill the warriors, yeah.
Oh, he's going to try and go for the Synapse. Right, clever. So he's firing here. Right, so shooting done. Firing here, Stormbolters and Psy Cannons. 1 warrior brought down. Passing a number of cover saves. That's thanks to the Venom Rope just there. Helping out a bit in this game. Just handy little units to have. But that is it really, not much else going on. Ben remaining stationary here with this unit. They're doing their job, just getting line breaker and not prepared. Having failed with Gates of Infinity, they're just going to stay there. So this combat here, initiative 5 and your initiative 5. So it's simultaneous here. We might be able to knock him down. Ben can go here. He's gonna kill me. Mastercrafted. Just to no, okay. 3 hits, 2s to almost failed and 2 1s, but a 6. Yeah, he's dead. So Ben can consolidate unless he dies. We want force to hit. Okay, a double 6 would be tasty. Ugh.
2 standards.
Right, so Ben's wiped me out there. He's going to consolidate 5 inches, and that marks the end of his turn. But he's done well. He's got rid of the Raveners, and still on 1 wound. Okay, he's staying in the woods in the terrain. That's marking the end of turn 6, and possibly the end of the game. We'll let Ben roll up here. 4+, we will go on to turn 7 for the ultimate epic. No, we don't. It stops at turn 6. The game ends. We're going to have to calculate points. Whatever it is, Ben's saying it's going to be a draw. Whatever it is, it's going to be close. All right, so we're in stunned silence here. It looks like Tyranids have victory. Ben thought it was a draw, but for that 1 point of first blood to the Tyranids, 3 points each for objectives. 1 here, well held by the Tyranids, and then 1 well held here by Ben. So that's 3 points each. Line breaker scored by both sides for here. Line breaker scored, and here as well. And then in glide mode, with the 2 Hive Tyrants securing that point. So that's 4 points each. No, there's no slay. The Warlord first blood went to the Tyranids when they killed the assassin on the hillside. That is 5-4 the final score. The Tyranids, in a shock result really, have achieved victory here by the narrowest of margins against the Grey Knights. It was a good game, a different game. It really was quite a different game to any game we've ever played before, really. It's been interesting. It's not been a massive clash. It's just been units turning up and then each side having to deal with them. And the Tyranids have managed to do it quite well here, and it has brought them victory. They hold their objective, and just 1 point more than the Grey Knights, they have secured themselves a first-time victory against this noble force. So victory for the Tyranids here. Good game, nice backdrop. But in this nature reserve, the Tyranids, the resident species, have achieved victory. So good game, thanks for watching, and tune in next time. So lesson there that we can learn from this battle report. If you ever go hunting, check to see what the local wildlife is first of all. The Vindicare assassin didn't, and he was attacked by monstrous bats. Right, so unit the game for both sides. The Exocrine easily gets it. It's sat there and blasted away, causing a number of wounds, crucially taking out one of the Dread Knights and then wounding the other. So well done to him. Winged Hive Tyrants did well as well. And for Ben, that Dread Knight there, yeah, the one with the sword, has done well. It survived, moved around, caused trouble, and has contributed quite well. So it's been a frustrating game for the Grey Knights, but that would be unit of the game here for Ben. So that's units of the game for both sides.